Hello, and welcome to the Quiver channel. I'm Jason, your host. Heyo! And let's get things started. With food-wise, we're just going to have some veg, potatoes, and a little bit of tuna. Veg, potatoes, and tuna. That's going to be today's meal. So yeah, let's get the potatoes going. We'll be talking about the quest for our mighty by this. Let's just put the potatoes in. And get them going. The potatoes have to be potatoes, the potatoes. Oh, potatoes. The potatoes are going to be cooked. Hello there, silent girl. Hello there. How is your day going? How is your morning going? Oh, lovely to hear from you. Know that you're okay, world. Well, a very, very crazy world, don't we? We have a very crazy world. The carrots and those cooking. Get my tablet. Okay. Yeah. These people are complete idiots. Silent girl. Hi, Nico. They're complete idiots. They don't understand. It's like people like when say, "Oh, you can't talk about disabilities because you're disabled and therefore biased." What the fuck? I mean, it's totally crazy, isn't it? When you, silent girl, talk about people like Prince Andrew and what he did and how he got away from it, basically because he's got money, you can talk about it as from someone from a position of authority. You've dealt with traumatic situations, you've dealt with assault, you know what this kind of thing does to a person long term. So you should be just the kind of person who can talk about these things because you know how it affects, because it's affected you. That does not mean that they should never be discounted what you say. It's bullshit. They're just idiots. Do you know what that means, silent girl? It means you're human. Hello, Art Alive. How is Betty? How is Betty? Betty is Silent Girl's gorgeous, gorgeous, giant floof ball of a dog. Hello there, Zeronexite. It's like me at the moment. I've been bashing my head against the brick wall trying to get in touch with people at Meta to get them involved with using, oh, they're both wonderful, and trying to get them to understand that virtual reality can be such a help for disabled people. And there's just no one there interested in talking about it. Zeronexite seems to be in a weird mood, but that's normal for Zeronexite. If there is a normal for Zeronexite, I don't know. See, this week I'm supposed to be buying a second-hand Quest Pro. I think it could be amazing because I could do reviews on it based on how it can help with autism, with disabilities, with social anxiety, and all those kind of things. But I'm finding it hard to justify spending that kind of money when I could use that same money on like 10 different projects. See, at the moment, you can get a Quest Pro. When a Quest Pro, the full price used to be £1,500, totally, completely out there. They've dropped it down to £1,000. Now on eBay, you can get a second-hand one for £750, half the price of what it used to be. But the plan was I would buy a Quest Pro, and if I didn't like it and I did the reviews on it, I could sell it back on eBay. But because the price has been dropped, it means if I buy it at £750 on eBay, in a couple of weeks, the price will trickle down and people will start selling them for £500. Then I'm going to lose £250 on that sale within a few weeks. The depreciation of the tech is going to go down into the floor because it is now only £1,000 new. So that's one hesitant. And the other is I shouldn't have to spend that kind of money on something like that. But yeah, people don't. The thing is, you've got all these tech influencers and not one of them talks about how disabilities are helped by this kind of technology. People need to, and when it comes to people like you, Silent Girl, not pointing you out or anything, but it's a basic fact that when it comes to online life, to grooming, to sexual predators and that, the people that they should be hiring to advise them about how to deal with all this thing is people like you. Because you've got the knowledge base, a knowledge base that you never wanted, a knowledge base that means that you've dealt with trauma in a way that most people shouldn't have to, which puts you right in the position where yes, you are in some way biased, but you're biased in a good way because you know what it's like to be hurt. Oh, camera stopped working. Come on, camera. Yeah, it's back. Just had to tweak it. Technical glitch. So people like you, we need people like you who have dealt with this kind of crap because you can tell and advise why this is so harmful. Yeah, that's the whole point. This is why I talk about autism and bipolar and social anxiety and not being able to be around people in real life and disabilities and how things like look at how I was ridiculed when I talked about how the cost of living affects disabled people. Crazy. And it's the same for you. If you talk about you should be one of the people that they actually listen to. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Yeah. But we're the people who should be talking about it. We're the people who've dealt with all this kind of stuff. And It's disgusting that you get the hassle you do. You have. It's like me and you. We've been enrolled into a university that we didn't want to be part of. We've gained experience in things that we didn't want to know. Trial by fire. But we can make a difference by actually talking about it, by letting other people know they're not alone, by letting people know how these things affect us. That's, if anything good can come out of all of this. Hello, Johnny Sins. It's the fact that the tragedies and the trauma and the pain and suffering that we face, we can talk about it so other people know that they're not alone, so that they know that they don't have to face these things alone. And that's how we should be able to use what is horrible events and horrible situations to help others. But we get ridiculed, we get attacked because we're talking about something like that. Let me just turn the potatoes down. We're having potatoes, carrots, and tuna. Yeah. We are a resource. We're people who actually have lived through it. We've dealt with PTSD, we've dealt with autism and oopsie. I have no idea what you're talking about, Johnny Sins. Oh, it's one of the griefers are back. Hello. Let me, oh yeah, let me report you. Report message, pornography or sexual explicit material. Oh, I think that covers it. Bye-bye, Johnny. I'd user from my channel. Bye-bye, Johnny Sins. Yeah. Don't worry, I was ready for him. I was expecting it. You get these silly little people sometimes. We block him on YouTube. And then we had to block on the chat so we can't see him. There. It's dealt with. Yeah. You sometimes get idiots like that. Griefers who can't create or add anything to the universe, but instead just try to, well, hurt people. They're destructive, they're negative, they don't bring anything positive to the conversation. We just have to shoo them away. You just have to shoo them away and deal with it. Ah. But yeah, that's the wonderful thing about people like us, where we can talk about all this kind of thing. They're idiots. There's just some morons. I mean, they can both sides. I mean, it's crazy. It's crazy the way they act. So You just have to report these people because they're just, you can't reason with them. You just block them, ban them, and all you can. But yeah, there needs to be more people like us involved with the system, showing what it's like for us, showing what it's like for people who are dealing with this kind of thing daily. The sad fact is, you get used to it. That's the sad fact. You shouldn't have to get used to it. Just like you, as someone who's dealt with all this trauma, you get used to the sexual innuendos. You get used to the private messages from idiots trying to give you dick pics. You get used to that. You shouldn't have to get used to all that, but we do. Just like I get used to the harassment. I get used to the people ridiculing me and having a go at me. You get used to it. It's sad that you get used to it. You shouldn't have to get used to it. It's not something that we should get used to, but we do. That's the universe that we live in. Anyway, I think it's time to do the doggies. Doggies get their food. They're going to have a treat. They're going to have some chicken to go with their meal. Tuna. The doggies are going to get tuna. Oh, the tuna's over there. We need to open the tuna up. Before I do that, I'm going to put their normal food in. That's okay. But the funny thing is that these people who grief us and that, they don't never beat us. They just make us actually want to do more, to fight more. When they give us examples of having a go at us and trashing us, we don't back down. We don't run into a corner and cry. We actually fight back because we know what it's like to deal with trauma. These little messages that they give us, that's nothing compared to the crap that we've dealt with in our lives. We know what it's like to deal with crap. No, I don't remember you flaming sausage. But I do find your username amusing. Why is it sad? I meet a lot of people and my brain doesn't remember lots of people. Lord. Oh, that's a long time ago. You have to remember my brain doesn't remember things like that too easily. You got to remember, my brain doesn't thingy. You mean Nako? You mean in chat? I think it works for some. If you're talking about in Twitch chat and that, I think it works for someone who's doing all this for a career and that. It's a good hook into people. I think it's like a hook into them, but I don't like it. I don't like the idea of doing all that things. For one thing, it doesn't cross channels. So if we set it up on my Twitch channel, it wouldn't cross over to the by a restream, it wouldn't cross over to YouTube or to Facebook and that. You'd have to set it up on all of them to make sure people didn't feel thingy. So it's a lot of work for what is basically just a hook into people instead of just talking with them and that. So that's my opinion on it. But yeah, flaming sausage. I'm sorry that I didn't remember the name, but my brain doesn't. If you not contact me for a while, it's very hard for me to remember things. So I apologise for not. So the dogs are going to get some tuna on top of their normal meal. Got things since the time I played 7 Days to Die. I've probably done over 1,000 streams. Over 1,000 streams. I was in a different house back then. From that perspective. So, no, the steam on that camera is fine. That camera's fine. It's only a little Logitech. One of my oldest cameras. It's just if it dies, it dies. But it's been fine for a while. It's like my backup for backup for backup for a camera. So tuna for me and tuna for the dogs. Doggies get tuna too. Right. Tuna. Tuna for the dogs. Tuna for the dogs. So we'll give the doggies their food. Tuna for the dogs. I'm sorry though. I connect with. Go on, eat that. Go on, eat it. Don't you want to have any of that? It's tuna. You like tuna. Beryl can be very fussy when it comes to food. If she doesn't want anything, I'll move her food so Bertie doesn't eat it. Because if she doesn't eat it, Bertie's going to eat it. He will eat anything. He'll eat his own food and then eat hers. Yeah. Yes, Beryl is very finicky when it comes to food. Bertie will eat literally anything. He's very fussy. It's like, for example, if you gave Bertie a hamburger, if you left the lettuce on the hamburger and gave Bertie a hamburger, but removed, of course, anything that wasn't good for him, like onions and that, he'd just wolf it down and eat it. If you give the same burger to Beryl in a bath and that, he'll pick it apart and you will end up with a little pile of lettuce on the actual floor, and she'll eat everything else. She will surgically remove all the little bits of lettuce before she eats any part of it. My old dogs used to love carrots. Beryl doesn't like carrots. Bertie loves carrots. Bertie will eat carrots all the time. Beryl doesn't. She's never been a very food centric. She's a rescue dog. They're both rescue dogs, and I think it's stuck with her. She's very hesitant to eat. She's beautiful and amazing, but yeah, you have to keep an eye on her and make sure she eats enough. Like sometimes I'll buy a treat for them. Like if I'm going to get a takeaway, I will make sure I buy something like extra nugget. I don't have chicken McNuggets or anything like that. I don't like them, but they're very good for giving to Beryl because she will eat them, and there's a lot of fat content in them and that. So sometimes she doesn't eat enough because she just doesn't like food most of the time. So whenever I buy takeout, which isn't often, very few takeouts I can have stuff from, I will always try to make sure I buy something like it might be a sausage or something if I go to the if I order a something from the chip shop, so that she can have something like that. I'm always trying to make sure that she eats enough, especially when she's getting older. They're both about 15 years old now, my doggies. What's the best shop in Wakey? What do you mean? Nico, send me... Send me a message about it on Discord so I remember. Don't tell me stuff on... I have no idea what you're talking about, flaming sausage. I really don't have any idea what you're talking about. It just gives me... If you want me to remember something specific like that, it's always best to give me a message in Discord so I can look back. Oh God, yeah. Yeah, I remember. I saw that on Twitter. Someone claimed to be entering, and 3 churches actually fell for it in Liverpool. He looked nothing like Ed Sheeran. He looked nothing like Ed Sheeran. Oh God, it's so funny. It's crazy, it really is. He looked absolutely nothing like him as well. It's like crazy. So the doggies are eating their foodykins. Munchies was nice yesterday. Listening to all the wonderful people and singing there and that. It was wonderful. Bertie, stop that. You're a bad boy. He's on a search. Bertie is now on a search for food. Because he's had his food, he has to go over everybody and search. And he was about to overtip the water bowl because he wanted to get under the water bowl to make sure there wasn't any food under the water bowl. There wasn't any food under the water bowl, Bertie, but he wanted to shift the water bowl and try to stick his nose underneath it just in case there was a tiny bit of food there. That is Bertie when it comes to food. He is so food centric. But yeah, that's the real question we wanted answering. Yeah. Yeah. Betty is more like Beryl. They can be very finicky. And there's this idea that dogs will eat anything, but no. But Bertie is like, he will eat literally anything. And he's so food centric. For example, if they've been outside, I pick up a little treat and I take them upstairs. We go upstairs together. Now I will be carrying a few little tiny bits of dry dog food in my hand. Beryl will just go up the stairs, go into the bedroom and wait to be given a treat. Bertie will stop halfway up the stairs and just stand there halfway up the stairs waiting for you because he's scared of letting you out of his view. And he basically walks up the stairs almost backwards, almost falling over, because he's got to keep an eye on you and the food you've got for him. That is Bertie when it comes to food. Bertie, stop being crazy. There's no more food there. There's no more food. You've licked everything. You've even licked the floor. If I ever wanted this floor cleaned, I'd just have to spread some food on it and he'd lick the entire floor. If I spread gravy on the floor, he'd lick it away and then clean the floor for me. That is Bertie. Isn't that? You're a bit of a doofus. You're a bit of a doofus. Come here. You're a bit, aren't you? You're a little doofus, aren't you? You're a little doofus, aren't you? Yes, you are. You're a little doofus. You're a beautiful little doofus, aren't you? What are you thinking? What are you thinking? Betty? Where are you? There's no food for you under the table. There's literally no food under the table for you. There isn't. There's no food. Yep. Yeah. No, it's crazy. So yeah, I'm having tuna, potatoes and carrots. Tuna, potatoes and carrots. That's going to be my lunch. Yeah, I think the last time I played 7 Days to Die properly is probably 6 months ago. Wow. That's a long time to be away from the channel for me to remember someone. Oh, so give me a sec. I've just got to make a phone call. I've got to call my pharmacist. Call the pharmacist. Come back. They're engaged. Have to wait. Right. Okay. So everything is good. Where's that? Everything's good. We're focused. We know what we're doing. Yeah, I've just got to order some new medication. Nothing major, just my blood pressure medication. Hello, dog. Republic. Okay. So what are we going to do now? Now we're going to do the mash. Oh, the gravy. We'll set the gravy up and everything. All right. So potatoes and the carrots are done. La, da, 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 da. So I still don't know whether I'm going to buy a Quest Pro. I still don't know whether, even though I've got the money now to do it, whether I can justify doing it. Set the gravy up, turn off this. Have a look what the gravy's like. You like thick gravy, don't you? Oh. Turn the power off. We are good. Right. What do? We do this. Let's do the math. So let's get the thingy stuff. Let's mash it all up. Yeah, I am really on the fence at the moment to do with the Quest Pro. I love mashed potatoes. The only way I can have potatoes, I want to have them if they're not mashed. They have to be properly cooked to the point of being mashed. The only way my body can handle potatoes. And I'm not going to eat potatoes. Mashed potatoes is what happens. Actually, potatoes are not that expensive still. A lot of things are more expensive. So, I put the potatoes out. Potatoes! Save the rest for later for the doggies. The doggies have to special food. Doggies. There we are. Now we put the gravy on top of it. The rest of the gravy in there. Well, all that's done. Let me just take it. You can see that. Okay, right. Hope everybody is having a good morning. So I'm going to basically go and eat. And I'll be back upstairs and we can chat and that later. And I hope you all have a wonderful day. And I will decide whether or not I'm going to get the quest or to leave it and say, nah. So, bye-bye for now. You wonderful, special people of awesomeness. Bye-bye, everyone.